right, we are back and we have Brycen. It is Brycen with us to cover the Patriots, excuse me. The Patriots. I got the Packers on the brain because I'm staring at everything Packers. There you go. Say hello there, sir.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Brycen. Of course, the Patriots are way more elite than the Packers. We know this.
Oh, Jesus. He's
Oh,
always
it starts already. Not even 20 seconds in. Here we go.
Well, before we get even started in all that, okay, all of our first-time guests, sir, get what we like to call brag time. And so it's just a few
Tell us
minutes.
about yourself.
Yeah, it's a few minutes to, introduce everybody to you, tell them your handles, what you've done, brag yourself up, hype yourself up, give yourself a hug, pat yourself on the back, all that great stuff. Shoot, bud, it's all you.
Oh, thank you so much, guys. My is at Brycen NFL on every platform. I have a podcast called Title Talk on most platforms, talking about the Patriots and the NFL during the season. That's about the best stuff I do because the Patriots are awesome, and I'm just lucky to be hanging around them.
I mean,
short and sweet.
You know what? We're witnessing history here. Like, a lot of people don't realize what is, like, in front of us, and it took Jay and I from a colleague of ours, of Russell Baxter, who worked for ESPN for so many years, had to kind of put that in perspective for us. And, like, you don't realize you're watching it, but you're watching history with us right now. And what the Patriots are doing is, like, what no other team has ever done before, and probably no other team will do, if not for a long time.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy in the National Football League. For every morning you wake up during the season, every year you go into a new season, you think that your team is probably going to win or be right there. That's like the most insane thing in sports, and Patriots fans really don't understand it. I'm here to enjoy it, like, literally every week. I've been saying this for probably the past 2 or 3 years. I just try to take it week by week with the greatest quarterback ever. You literally never know when it's going to end. It could end tomorrow, it could end next week. At the end of this year, you never know. So it's going to be sad, but it's just so amazing.
All right. Well, Dave is going to laugh because he knows what I'm going to do. Before we get into questions for
Yep.
Dave, I got to know because it's always a topic about the GOAT and how you judge the GOAT and how you come about formulating who is the GOAT. And I know I have a standard as a fan of guys, because I played hockey, of Wayne Gretzky. And, how they call Michael Jordan the GOAT, and now you have the conversation with LeBron James. And they all kind of have a common inflection. And it used to be that way in football until about 2007 or so, when the Patriots went 16-0, and Tom Brady really kind of started to blossom as the guy that we all know him now as, Tommy Terrific, okay? And so I'm just interested in how you kind of judge the GOAT and all that, and how where you're coming about as a Patriots fan, so from a realistic standpoint, instead of just all this crap that people do on social media, which a lot of it is just bloviating and bull crap anyway. So I'm just interested, as a Patriots guy, of how you see that whole conversation and how it breaks down from your viewpoint.
Oh, well, look, guys, it's funny because for me, growing up as a Patriots fan, Brady has 3 rings, and it was always, he needs 4, and then he got 4, and then I was like, man, I was at the 4th ring. That's when I thought Brady was the greatest of all time. I was like, this is it. He got 4. His stats are amazing. They're better than Montana's. He has the 4. He's been to 6. And then he got the 5th. And then he got the 6th. And he might get a 7th this year. So Brady has the stats to me. He's got the longevity stats. Peyton Manning's actually my number 2. I think Peyton Manning's amazing. So I think Peyton Manning's number 2. Tom Brady's number 1. And just they have the best stats, and they also have won or win a lot.
So you're of that new era then, that essentially looks at, it's not about playing like all other sports, and like I was saying, it's not about playing the essential, I'm a GM/coach, and I can take all the tools in the world that make up what we would consider an elite quarterback. And so if I have all the choices and I pick these choices, And then you go about it like that, and then you try to find the guys that find those amount of tools, because that's always how the GOAT conversation in all sports, including the NFL, went, like I said, until about 2007. And my literal problem with it is I believe the conversation got changed because at the end of the day, the conversation got swayed because of accomplishments and statistics pushing the forefront, and because Brady doesn't check all of those proverbial boxes per se, if you were going about it compared to a lot of other when you compare him to guys like the athletic guys like Montana and Marino and Elway, and even like Johnny Unitas, who people don't give enough credit to, where they got the big arms, they can do all the things that in and outside the pocket that you would want. And that's just the only pet peeve I have about it, the way I see it. Now, a lot of people are on your thing because that's the stats have taken over. So I'm not saying that's wrong, because I have a good friend that's the way he judges it. And if that's how you judge all quarterbacks, I completely respect that, because you're using a universal tool there. I was just interested to see which side of the conversation you were on there, because you're totally justified in seeing it that way when you're using stats to judge all the quarterbacks. It breaks down differently using that type of system, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like anyone. I like to watch, think of stuff. Maybe I'm right. I really love advanced stats, so I use advanced stats a lot to kind of see if I'm right or if I'm on the right track, and kind of use it that way. But I just think Brady really does have the stats, and he doesn't have a weak arm or anything like that. He kind of really does make all the throws. Sometimes it's not flashy, but he reads the defense amazing. Peyton Manning is like the only one in history is probably better. I just think he really does a lot of things at the GOAT level, aside from just like read defense. Like he's amazing in the pocket. He actually moves really, really well in the pocket. Just the stepping up, the sliding through the pocket, just the way the quarterback should do. I just think Brady has just a whole lot of tools that are just amazing. A+.
Oh no, I'm not.
No.
I'm not trying to take anything away from Brady. I was just interested, I guess, there, because part of the new way I look at the NFL is an appreciation for greatness, no matter what your opinion of it is outside of that or who you're rooting for. And I think part of the problem that we've had in the past is being fans, you kind of grow to this hatred because this guy's put above your guy or that. But at the end of the day, there's only so many great quarterbacks to play. And this idea that we come up with new ones every year in the draft just never seems to pan out. We seem to keep pumping the same guys. And so it's nice just to be able to watch all these great guys operate, because they all do it on a little different level. All the greats have certain different things, and that's what makes them different and unique. And I think we need to really stop nitpicking and hating so much as all fans across that, and start appreciating each other's great quarterbacks for who they are, and wish these matchups, because we're not getting these dream matchups enough. We haven't had and Dave's going to get in it, we haven't had Super Bowl matchups as far as quarterbacks that we'd really like to see as much as we would hope, really. We haven't been spoiled that way as far as quarterback matchups.
No, we haven't. I actually really, really miss Brady Manning. It was amazing. The last time they were good and they matched up was 2014. And then in 2015, Manning was just all of a sudden bad. We didn't realize it. And that was their last meeting. And Manning wasn't good.
He hit that cliff, man.
Yeah, you did. Manning wasn't any good. And Manning is my second favorite quarterback to watch ever. I think he's, as a Patriots fan, all those matchups, how scared I was on the edge of my couch, because Peyton Manning literally has a computer brain and would just pick the Patriots apart all the time. I miss Peyton Manning a lot.
All right, I got one more question for you before I'm going to turn this whole thing over to Dave, because he's got a bunch of stuff. And really is, being a Patriots fan now and watching Brady's whole career, what is it as a guy that's probably watched him as close as like we've watched Favre and Rodgers from our perspective, what is it that at his age, that's where the appreciation needs to come in? Because regardless if you want to argue whether he's making the big-time throws that everybody wants to nitpick enough or not, he plays within the system and does it very beautifully. So really, what is it from your guys' perspective as a Patriots fan watching him this whole time, his whole career, that really you see that has made him different, that he can be this efficient at this age? Because honestly, no matter what you want to argue, this hasn't been done before. It just hasn't. And so we really need to appreciate it. I'm interested of where your perspective is from an inside kind of the Patriots from that viewpoint.
Well, I could actually tell you a really funny story about Tom Brady, about just how he is and why I think he just is the way he is and he's played for so long. Back in the day, Tom Brady was invited to a Drew Bledsoe party, and Brady went with Bledsoe, rode in his limo. They arrived, Bledsoe goes in, Brady stays in the limo, and he tells the limo driver, I want to know where Drew is at every hour of the day, what time he goes to bed, what he eats, what he does during the day. And the limo driver was like really nice. He loved Drew. He didn't give Tom any secrets, but that's just how Tom is. He's a literal psychopath. He will spend hours in the mirror flexing his hip to see if it's the perfect degree and just swinging his hip, just one little movement for hours and hours. It's just a little stuff like that. He does it every single day. He still does it. He was just shit talking Mike Vrabel in practice all week. Like, it's just amazing to see.
I mean, it's kind of like, so you know how Favre was the kid in the backyard playing? It's kind of like Brady is the teenager in high school football that he takes it to that next level, but it's still kind of a fun aspect. And actually, from earlier, I had to mention this. So obviously, Jay and I are huge Packer fans, and we freaking adore Rodgers for what he is. But I will give Brady credit on one thing that drives me nuts with Rodgers. Brady has no qualms about just being a selfless QB and dumping the ball down in a check down and getting the first down. He does it all the time. Rodgers wants to go for the big play, and I feel like it was forced a lot because of McCarthy's system, but still, he did it a lot, and he never took the check down, and it killed me all the time. So when I sit there and watch tape and I see Brady just do the check down, oh, look, there's James White. Oh, look, there's Edelman. Oh, look, there's 7-8 yards. Oh, look, there's first down, like over and over and over again. And I'm like, why the hell can't Rodgers take the check down? It's like he wants the big play. And I understand why he wants it, but also in reality, that's why Brady is Brady and Rodgers is Rodgers. There's two different QBs, you know? Not everyone's alike.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. The thing about Brady is that he knows that the coaches coach, the players play, and it doesn't matter to him what system you throw at him, what type of plays you throw at him. He's going to run them, and who's in the game, it doesn't matter. He's going to run those plays exactly the same way every time. Everyone knows where to be. And I just think that's something that Rodgers missed. And if he would just allow himself to be coached like that, just like Brady, and just kind of let the offense flow and just kind of make his reads, and I think he'd be way more consistent than he has been the last couple of years. He'd be way better.
Can I just make a counter argument that maybe y'all can use that's going to be very blasphemous, but it just kind of popped in here listening? For taking an argument for somebody that's arguing my point with you guys from now on, it just came to me where you could separate him as the GOAT for people like me that want to talk about athletic talent and the moving to the left and this and throwing off platform and all these things that we know Brady has never done. That's not what he's done. What separates him is what you were just talking about. What makes him able to be the GOAT and in this conversation despite the rings and bounce up all over all that other stuff is his strength is knowing what he can't do and knowing that if he does try for the big play like these other quarterbacks that might be able to do all this stuff, he's not going to be successful. It's almost his ability to look outside himself and